Hello, I'm Sai.
And I'm Al.
And this is episode 40 of the 4Beam podcast.
Episode 40?
Come on, people, let's have it.
Yes.
Right. Right, okay, so Al, we are in the car again.
We are.
We're having a drive, a home time drive-by.
Have a drive-by?
Are we?
Are we?
Are you packing? Right, okay, so it's been a while since we've done one of these.
No weapons involved.
No, only Al. He's a massive weapon, but
that's enough.
Sorry, I always kind of get really excited when we do one of these. I love it. Anyway,
I'm excited anyway. Go on.
Are you?
Yeah.
Cool. So a lot's happened since we've done one of these. So I thought it'd be nice just to drive home, have a nice chill drive. Al's driving dependent, obviously, and we just have a bit of a catch up because a few things have happened.
It's been 2 weeks, hasn't it?
It has.
It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. So should we start off with the 4Beam news, Al?
The 4Beam news?
Yeah. And the 4Beam news is Alex has been on a course, haven't you?
You never said we were going to talk about this. You call me unawares there.
Yeah. Alex has been educating himself, haven't you, Al? And what have you been educating yourself in?
Speed awareness.
Why did you get invited onto the speed awareness course, Al?
Because I was caught on a camera.
By the police?
No, not the police, no. It was a traffic light camera.
Oh, so you got caught?
Yeah.
So you get points on your licence?
No.
No.
The first thing you do was you get the letter in the post, you go, oh, swear words.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the last one I did, because I've won before, was over 3 years ago. So luckily enough, if the next one's over 3 years, then you get offered the course again.
I would just like to point out, ladies and gentlemen, that I have a completely spotless licence. I have not once been caught by a camera or pulled over by the police.
The opposite of word, they're being caught. He's never been caught.
True.
So
the closest I did get to being pulled over was on a stretch of road on the way home. I had the BMW M140 at the time, and I overtook somebody that wasn't doing 50, and that was it. I wasn't like I was overtaking them and they were doing the speed limit. They were way under, and I overtook them, put my foot down, sped up, and then out of nowhere there was a police motorbike behind me, and I just thought, oh, this is it.
Oh, lucky mate.
Yeah, but he just sat behind me. Must we just taking in the lovely burble of the M140 exhaust?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, he thought, nah, it's been 30 seconds now, I'll have him.
But he never pulled me over.
Oh, okay.
So I was extremely lucky. So
yeah, it's actually quite an interesting course compared to the last one I'd done. They've updated it.
Why didn't you enlighten us, Al? Why didn't you give us a bit of a lowdown of the course for all those excellent drivers out there that have never been on one? You know, why didn't you tell us? You were telling me some interesting facts about 30 and 31 miles an hour.
Well, I was telling you,
distance.
I thought you were interested in the facts, but you didn't look very interested when I was telling you them.
Try again.
Well, first of all, speed awareness. So you need to be aware of your speed limits. Right.
You need to be aware of your speed. Oh, this is going well.
Limits. It's basically anywhere where there's no signs to say 30, 40, whatever. If there's no street lights, then it's national speed limit.
Wow.
Okay. But if there's street lights, then it's 30. Okay. Unless you're told otherwise.
So isn't it more dangerous not to have street lights? Or I know why, because they have street lights in residential areas or built up areas. That's why it's 30.
Well, you can have street lights in places that don't look residential or built up.
Right.
But it still counts as that. Okay. As soon as there's a street light, it's 30.
Okay.
Unless it tells you otherwise.
So I've got a question here, and this one probably wasn't covered on your course, but is 20, is that an enforceable speed limit?
Right, the speed limits that are enforceable are the ones with the red circle around.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. And national speed limit, which doesn't have the red circle around. So if you see, for instance, you might get, the example we were given was, you sometimes get signs outside schools.
Yes.
You've got the flashing orange lights.
Yeah.
I'd say when flashing 20.
Yeah.
But the 20 hasn't got a red border,
Yeah.
so it's not enforceable. However, if you're caught over 20 and you're in an accident, it's not going to look good.
No.
So you're best just doing 20.
We got letters around where I live a while, about 18 months ago, saying these roads are going to 20 miles an hour. And it listed.
Now, is it 20? I think 20 mile an hour roads, or is it a 20 zone? Because it's a difference.
Well, as soon as you turn onto my road, you get a 20 in a circle.
Does it say zone or
no,
not?
20 in a circle.
Okay, right.
So that, I don't have to do 20, do I? But like you said, if I was doing 30, 35, whatever, and I got caught, they'd pull me for going over 30, not going over 20. Is that right?
Yes.
Wow.
It's not a red circle around 20.
It's a red circle around the 20.
It's 20. I've said at least twice in the last 5 minutes.
No, you didn't.
Anything,
You said it was not enforceable.
anything with a red circle around is enforceable.
You didn't. You said the opposite.
Like, you're going to listen to this podcast and you're going to eat your words.
You said the opposite. That's why I asked the question.
I did not. Anything with a red circle around is enforceable.
Right, okay, so I've got to do 20 down our road.
Yes.
Whoops. Moving on. What's the stopping distance? What's the stopping distance for doing 30 to 31? This was good, Al.
I don't know what the distance is, but what he did was he showed us a video, and it was an advanced driver in a car, only an ordinary car, I think it was a Vauxhall Astra, and he was doing 30 blob on, then he had to do an emergency stop, so they flagged him, made brakes on, and then they measured where he stopped. Okay, this was at 30. Then they built a wall.
A brick wall?
Not a brick wall, a polystyrene wall. So they had them again at the start in the same place, doing 31 miles an hour.
So just 1 mile an hour
difference.
Wow.
Got flagged in the same place, put his brakes on in the same place. He didn't stop in time to he hit the wall at 8 miles an hour.
So 1 mile an hour more meant that stopping distance was so much further that he would have hit someone at 8 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Which still would have caused significant damage.
Yeah, of course it would, yeah. So imagine if you're doing 40.
Wow. You could have hit that wall at 50 miles an hour.
More probably. Just it multiplies, doesn't it? So
yeah.
That was the whole point about, you know, if you hit somebody or hit something at so many miles an hour, the damage it does. And I can't remember exact figures now, but we got given a little book as well, but it's something like at 40 miles an hour, if you hit somebody, you're like 70% more likely to die.
Yeah, yeah.
It was interesting.
No way. No.
I'm just wishing not to pay £78 to do it.
You have to pay?
Yeah.
So that's basically your fine, isn't it, really?
Yeah. You know, it's either £100 and 3 points, or £78 in this course and no points.
Right. No way.
Which, you know, but considering it was nearly 4 hours long, it went quite quickly.
Did it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, and you got a nice little pen that you brought into work.
Got a free pen.
Everybody loves a free pen, don't you?
A free pen, yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell us about this course?
Not that I can think of that comes to mind. There's loads on it, I just can't think of it now.
That's absolutely fine.
It's made about, you know, well, including the tin, it was speed awareness and it worked.
And did you speed at all going home?
No, I didn't actually.
Didn't you know?
No, I didn't.
Good, lad. I tell you what, it's paid off because this ride, even though it's only been about 5 minutes, it's very chilled.
That's it, because we're stuck in a queue of traffic.
I was trying to compliment you there on.
Oh, okay.
In other 4Beam news, and I didn't tell Al at the time, the M140's gone.
I know, you never told me at the time.
No. We had...
meant to be made to say.
I know.
Get into your car, you don't even tell me.
I know, and I apologise, Al. We got
Apology might be acceptable.
We got the X3 because of the way the M40 was in cold weather and snowy conditions and blah blah blah, and we had the whole incident of Nelly running over a motorbikist, even though it wasn't my fault. He was just a stupid motorbiker and decided to drive down a frozen patch and not in the tyre track. But that's beside the point. We got the X3, we kept both cars for a certain amount of time, I can't remember, 6 months, whatever. And then our salesman at Halliwell Jones said, look, you're at the time.
Right, hang on, it's a 20 sign, what does that mean?
It means it's not enforceable.
Means it is
I'm
enforceable.
messing, it's got a red circle around it.
Okay,
but we're doing less than 20 anyway, because we're in a queue. But our salesman rang up and said, look, you're at the halfway stage of your lease on the M140. We've got a person that wants a black one, identical to yours, blah, blah, blah. We've not got one in stock. He wants immediate delivery. Do you want to do a voluntary termination on the M140, or are you still using it? So we ummed and ahed and said, look, we're not using it. I wasn't even taking it to the station anymore. My wife didn't need it for the school run or anything else. We were only really using one car. So we took markup on the offer of a voluntary termination. So the car went back to Halliwell Jones, and a lovely lady apparently is now driving around in it.
So voluntary termination, what does that mean? You just stop paying for it?
Yes, apparently it only happens when you get the halfway point in your 3 or 4 year your term.
Right.
It's not a known fact, so again, maybe a bit of a full beam top tip. You can go back to your dealership and say, I want a voluntary termination if you are halfway through. Your only works on a PCP, a personal contract purchase or hire, whatever.
Okay.
If you've got to 50% of your term, you can have a voluntary termination, but they offer does it because they wanted basically our car,
right,
as a customer wanted it.
Right.
And then as soon as we got rid of the M140, my wife got offered a job. We now need more than one car, so now we're looking at getting another car.
Is the Mini still the favourite?
No, right, well again,
you haven't told me a savvy, mate, what's going on?
yes, my wife was determined to get a Mini. I am not a fan of Minis. I know that they're owned by BMW and built by BMW, but the build quality just isn't there compared. If somebody said to me, do you want a 1 Series or do you want a Mini, I'd pick a 1 Series. We had lots of and ahhing and toing and froing, and basically the dealer at Halliwell Jones said that we could have the brand new BMW M135i with X-Drive, 4-wheel drive, all bells and whistles, for 370 quid a month with no deposit. Brilliant. Then we obviously looked at fuel economy, we looked at insurance and everything else. And what else I didn't know was that you lose your no claims if you're down as a named driver and you haven't got a policy, and also you can only use your no claims on one car. So I couldn't take my 14 years no claims discount and put that on an M135 because that's already been used on the X3. So that was like, well, it's a no-brainer then. It's £800 or £500 to insure, £370 a month, fuel, everything else. So it was like, it would be amazing if we could, but this is literally just a run around. The X3 will still be the main car. So we're going for a brand new black 118 M Sport, all black interior, full leather. It'd be really nice. So I'm going to GoPro it when we go and collect it. So you'll all see that. So that's a bit of full beam fleet news. So yeah, the M140's gone, but we're replacing it with a brand new 1 Series. Go figure.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
So we'll have to videos in that as well. And I'll GoPro like all these trendy people do on YouTube. I'll GoPro the collection day.
Nice.
Okay. The Porsche Taycan, I know we've done this before and we spoke about electric vehicles and everything else, but I saw a review, like a real world review of it, and I know we said it was the best EV and it looked like a Porsche. It didn't look like a horrible EV like the Leaf or the whatever, and I totally stand by that still. I think it looks fantastic, but there's some downsides. And I think the biggest downside to the Taycan or the Taycan or whatever it is this country, the UK, England, wherever you're listening, but this country, the infrastructure for the Porsche Taycan is just not there. Now what I mean by that is the Porsche...
for all electric vehicles?
No, the Taycan or the Taycan.
What's so different about that?
Right, okay. The Taycan can be charged by a 270 kilowatt charger, its battery, okay?
Yeah.
And that means that can have over 200 miles of range in less than 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you could take the Porsche to work or wherever and charge that while you eat your butty, while you eat your meal deal or your lunch or whatever it is. You can get over 200 miles of range out of that car in 20 minutes, which is incredible. Okay, so you're thinking, brilliant, all I need is a 270 kilowatt charger. How many of those are in the country, Al?
Well, I know just because you told me, but I guessed 5, didn't I?
Yeah, there's 4.
So it wasn't 5.
There's 4 270 kilowatt chargers in the whole country.
What can you say? I mean, it's just ridiculous. I suppose you'd have to get one yourself.
I don't know if you can. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know what charging pack is supplied with the Porsche. I don't know if they supply you with just basically like a drip charge.
Can I just say something here as well? I just need to really wired back on soon. When we did the electric vehicles podcast, I was going, oh, you can just plug them in. No, you really can't just plug them in.
No.
You've got to have a charging point. So my ignorance there knows no bounds.
Yeah.
I do apologise for that.
And I know, again, you'll say, oh, BMW this, BMW that, but I know when you buy an i3 or an i8 BMW, they come out, they fit a charging point, they put it on the side of your house or in your garage or whatever. You have to have a specific charging point. I don't know what Porsche provide you with.
Yeah.
You'd like to think that they provide you with a 270 kilowatt charger, but they might not.
Probably will, they make you pay for it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But ultimately, to get that 200 miles of range from our current infrastructure, from our current national grid, our power grid, you'd have to charge it overnight.
Right.
It's a full day's charge.
And how much CO2 emissions would that cause?
Exactly. And also now, Porsche have called, the review that I saw was on the Turbo S.
Yeah.
Now, any car fan, any petrol head knows you can't turbocharge a battery. Okay? So, fake news. It's called a Turbo S, but it's not turboed because you can't turbo a battery. So now Porsche have come out and tried to defend themselves and say, well, now turbo in our eyes doesn't necessarily mean turbo, it just means fast.
Big mistake, Porsche.
Big mistake.
Big mistake.
Okay, so that's got Turbo S emblazoned on the back. It's not turboed, it just means fast. And also, going back on EVs, I think again we did the EV podcast in the early days, we were like, we ate them and blah blah blah. Me and Alex are total petrol heads. We are combustion engine fanatics, aren't we, Al?
Yes.
Yes. And Al had the really good point and the really valid point of, he sees performance as what you can get out of that engine, what you can get, how you can tune that engine to get that performance out of it. Now, we're not saying
just how big your battery is,
but we're not saying that it's just as layman as there's a couple of Duracell batteries, plug it in and it goes. And we know there's got to be some kind of tinkering and what else, but EV vehicles are totally annihilating petrol performance vehicles for horsepower and for acceleration. Like that Taycan has got, it's either 560 or 650 brake horsepower. It does 0 to 60 in sub 3 seconds.
I'm surprised with electric vehicles that's still called horsepower, because it's not horsepower.
No, should be like
it's
volts
it's just energy.
Yeah.
It's energy, not horsepower. So I don't like that, you know. Horsepower, you think of all, I've said before, you've got all these thousands of little bits in an engine and they're all connected up and they can all go wrong at any second, and every time you turn that key and it works, it's a minor miracle.
Yeah.
And instead now you've got a battery.
Yeah.
Wow.
I totally get that. I totally get that.
But like I said, I do think, you know, electric vehicles are great for around town or just cities. I understand it. So I understand it.
But Porsche have totally redone that, haven't they? They have. They've taken now, and I forgot what car it was, but they've taken their racing pedigree and put it into the Taycan. They must have had a hybrid, an EV hybrid or something at Le Mans. I think it was a 919 or a 917. But they've taken that battery and that battery power and put it into a road car now. So they're miles ahead. They are taking their racing pedigree and their racing knowledge and transferring it into road cars. And they are making a great looking electric vehicle. Again, we totally agree. The front looks a bit muted because of like the lack of a grille or whatever else.
Yeah.
But they are ultimately taking their knowledge of their racing pedigree and moving that into road cars, and the performance and the power and the acceleration is incredible. So maybe that time is coming up. Maybe the time is coming that these efficient cars are becoming more desirable, more powerful and quicker.
Yeah, there's still the issue of charging. I mean, I know for me, if I was just going to work and back every day, or going to the train station and back every day, just going shopping, go to another city, I would have an electric car, I would, I suppose.
But you wouldn't, because you don't like the look of any of them.
Well,
you wouldn't have a Leaf, would you?
I've been in a Leaf and I was quite impressed with it, but the Fiat 500 are going electric, aren't
they? Yeah, they are.
So you got that for
so the Vauxhalls, aren't they? Vauxhall Corsa now? You get a Vauxhall, you get a
no, you're right. you know, I would have one. So, but if I go to say my sister-in-law's, she lives in Surrey, middle of nowhere, she lives in the countryside.
No charging points.
No charging points.
No
I'd have to
stations.
go and find a charging point the day before I go home and charge it for God knows how long.
Yeah. Could you leave your car at a petrol station overnight?
Well, how would I get back to where's then?
Exactly.
So, it's still impractical.
It is.
For long journeys.
It is. So the full
journeys out of cities.
The full-beam verdict is electric cars are getting there, especially from prestige models, BMW i8, Porsche Taycan, everything else. But this country's infrastructure and power grid does not support it. So
especially in I can't say rural, non-urbanised areas.
Yeah. Even northern cities, and again you're getting into the whole north-south divide here, but I imagine there's more charging points in the capital down south than there is Manchester, Birmingham, Leeds, Liverpool.
I think that depends on different councils, doesn't it? Some councils really go mad for it and some don't, so I don't know if you can say it's north-south divide, I don't know. I've got an app on my phone actually, I might have a look for next time. It tells you all the charging points are. The funny thing is, it's got all people's personal charging points on as well.
Is it really?
So people's houses.
No, so you could knock and say, give us some charge.
I think that's the idea. But then aren't they paying for that then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that one works, but anyway.
So yeah, EVs are getting there, especially from, like I said, performance and prestige marks, but our country cannot handle it at the moment. And again, that contradicts the government's there's going to be no petrol cars by what, 2025, 2035?
2035.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
What it was there's no petrol cars on sale. So there will still be petrol cars, but you won't be able to buy a new one.
Rubbish.
Well,
rubbish. Okay, so that's that done.
Jeremy Clarkson said he's going to buy 10 new cars in 2034.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
10 new ice cars, as they're called.
So yeah, well done Porsche. Boo to the country's infrastructure.
That's that one done.
Okay. Right, the one last thing that I've got to talk about, Formula 1. Formula 1.
Oh? Yeah, more than that.
Oh, I have. I've also seen a review. What do you want to do first? The Renault Megane Trophy R or Formula 1? What we like to talk about?
The Megane.
The Megane.
Yeah.
It's 70 grand. It's not worth it. Formula 1. I saw another review, and again, this Megane Trophy R is extremely rare. Hardly any of them are going to be made. It's £72,000.
Is that partly why it's so expensive, because it's rare?
Maybe, but again, that goes back into our supercar, hypercar podcast, and we're having none of that.
So is the Renault's not a supercar, is it?
No, it's not a supercar. It's a sports car.
Definitely a sports car. But did it come out? Did it do quite well in Top Gear on Sunday?
It came out really well. Again, but being an owner of a hot hatch, it had 300 brake horsepower from a 2-litre 4-cylinder turbocharged engine.
That's not a big engine, is it?
It's not a big engine. Now, the Mercedes A-Class AMG, the A45, that is a 2-litre 4-pot.
Excuse me.
It's turbocharged to the hilt. It's not limited. It's super fast, super quick acceleration. So you can get performance out of that, okay? The M140 was a 3-litre straight 6 with 340 brake horsepower. So straight away, you got an M140 there for £36,000. It's got more horsepower, more cylinders, and a bigger litre engine. Okay, so why is it £72,000? Okay, so the £72,000 is most probably not spent on performance, even though it was quick. It wasn't limited, so it did a top speed of 166 miles an hour, but its 0 to 62 time was really not that impressive. It was like 5.6 or 5.8 seconds.
So why is that? Is it underpowered, or is it too heavy, or?
Again, it's not heavy because they've taken out over 70 kilograms of weight from it. So I think where the money comes in is the actual design. Like, the bonnet was totally carbon fiber, the wheels were totally carbon fiber to keep weight down. There was no back, there was still 5 doors, but there was no back seats, weirdly. Okay, so there was 5 doors, there was no back seats. They'd taken all the weight out of that way. They reduced the weight from the wheels, they reduced the weight.
Hang on. 5 doors but no back seats.
Yeah.
So what were the doors for?
Exactly. So you'd take the weight out there, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So
when you opened the back doors, what did you see?
just scaffolding, just roll cage.
Like a rally car,
yeah.
Weird.
So they've put a lot of effort into weight reduction, so that must have come out in the cost. But again, bringing so much weight out of the normal Megane RS or whatever it's called, you must probably expect a quicker 0 to 62 time.
Yeah.
So yeah, £72,000. It had carbon ceramic brakes on it, which were an extra, and everything else. So very, very expensive for what it is. It's still not got the horsepower of the Mercedes. It's not got the horsepower of the Audi RS 2 or 3, whatever it is. It's not got the horsepower of the old M140s, which have got similar horsepower to the new M135, but a lot more expensive. Went around the track super quick, wasn't particularly quick in a straight line.
Could you tell one by looking at it, or does it just look like someone's put a body kit on a Renault Megane?
They put a body kit on a Renault Megane, but they've also kind of gone down the Porsche GT2 and GT3 RS, where it's all emblazoned up the side, and it's got checkered flags on it, and it's got Trophy R written on it, and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So yeah, very expensive.
It's probably the rarity of it, I think.
Yeah, it's the rarity and everything else that they've gone through with the weight reduction and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
I was just directing now where to go then. Formula 1. I'm gonna have a drink. Just bear with me.
Oh, right, okay. So Formula 1. All the new cars, well, nearly all the new cars are out. Testing starts tomorrow.
Does it really?
Or the day after?
No way.
I think.
That comes around quick.
It does, doesn't it? Well, the first race is March.
It is, yeah, absolutely.
It's February now.
Australia.
The new liveries, I'm pretty happy with.
Can I just ask you a question before you get into the liveries? Can you notice anything majorly different in the car design?
No.
No.
No, I feel like a bit of a dunce on this, because when you go on Twitter and our Twitter feed, when the new cars came out, you had proper geeks on, not geeks, people that knew about cars going, oh, look at the side vents on this, and look what's so different. I'm like, it looks like a racing car. It's, you know, I suppose if you're really into it, you will notice a difference. I didn't notice any difference.
No. At first glance, I've not really studied one to that degree, but first glance, you know, they've still got a lot of intricacies on the front wing. I thought they were reducing that down. I thought they were kind of reducing all the end plates.
I think the feeling is that the new rule changes coming next year, so they just kept this year's cars relatively the same, not spending money.
Right.
They're saving money for next year instead.
Okay. So go on, Al, onto your liveries.
Liveries, well, I was very, very impressed with the Alfa. I keep saying Alfa Centauri, it's not, it's a star system. Alfa Tauri. Yeah.
Is that very, very dark blue, or is it black?
Very, very dark blue, I think.
Nice.
And white. It's lovely. It really sets itself apart from the Red Bulls. It doesn't look like a Red Bull second choice car now. It looks like a different team.
When you say white with a very, very dark blue, that just instantly puts my mind back to the BMW.
Yeah.
Like the 2000 and maybe what? 5, 6, 7, 8, something like that.
Yeah.
When they were in.
Yeah.
That was white and very dark blue. So yeah. Nice.
That was mainly white though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This is mainly dark blue.
Just little bits of
like the white pattern on, which is really nice. With the logo on, it's really, really good.
Awesome.
It looks like a separate team now, which is good.
Yeah.
Whether the car's any good or not, we'll have to wait and see.
We will.
McLaren, love it. Last year it was just an orange hideous thing, but this year's got a bit of blue on, so you harken back to Renault and the Benetton Ford. The blue and the orange shouldn't go together. It's more like amber than orange, really. So it reminds me of an Everton away kit.
It's rubbish. I hate it.
The best Everton away kit, amber and orange. So it reminds me a bit of that, and it's just the colours go so well together.
I loved the Benetton.
Yeah.
I know it's not when it was Benetton, but it was the Renault.
Renault Mile 7 on.
Yes. Yeah. Brilliant. So yeah, nice. I think McLaren, and I really, really hope, because I was always been a massive McLaren fan. Watching Formula 1 with my dad growing up, it was always McLaren. I really want them to come back to the fore. They
did well last year.
They did, yeah. But I want them to really push on. They've got 2 very talented drivers, young, ambitious, hungry drivers, which I think is a big part of the battle. If you've got a young, hungry driver, you're halfway there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
well, you think last year they did better than Renault, which we weren't really expecting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they'll just get better. The other Romeo, I don't think we've seen the livery yet, and the Renault came out as all black. Apparently that's just a test livery, so they haven't.
Oh, is this the one that was snakeskin? It was blonde snakeskin. Yeah, that's a test livery.
Yeah. So we don't know what that's going to look like yet. I probably bet it's going to be yellow and black.
Yeah.
And some news there as well. Apparently they're going to go for it next year because they've got the funding okayed.
Oh, have they?
Apparently, yeah. So
big push next year then.
Yeah. That's for this year. Who knows?
So I've got a little thing about Ferrari. Okay. Now
still too much black on
it. Yeah. But
did you watch the unveiling?
The Ferrari car or something?
Yeah, I videoed it and sent it to a podcast. It was just so laughable. I was going to waste my time on it. There was modern dance in it. There was choirs. There was people giving speeches.
No way.
Like, where's the car? Where's the car?
Oh my goodness.
You had Sebastian and Charles Leclerc in the uniforms. Then they had suits on. Then they had uniforms on again. It was just
show us the car,
and it was in an opera house.
Wow.
Why?
Typically Ferrari.
It was ridiculous though. Funny enough, right? It was pushing all the buttons. It was trying so hard to be classy. It was tacky.
Yeah.
It was just trying too hard. So Ferrari.
I saw on social media. It was on the day of the release. This is the Ferrari to end Mercedes dominance. Okay.
Really? Okay.
Now that got me thinking, and maybe controversial, let me know, but I don't think it depends on how good the Ferrari is. I think the Ferrari can be the best car on the grid. It was dubbed as the best car on the grid last season, don't forget.
Well, the fastest in a straight line.
It comes down to the team and the drivers. That team is never going to end the Mercedes dominance while it is as it is, and with Seb still in that team, and certainly Seb still is the main driver. It might have changed, I don't know, we might find out when the season starts, but in my eyes Charles Leclerc is not the #1 driver. He should be the main driver now, and Seb should be coming up to retiring, but they should be focusing all their energy on that young, hungry, ambitious driver. Give him all the parts when you come out, you put them all on his car first, focus your attention on him, make him your #1 driver for the next 5+ years, is how I see it.
I disagree. I think that, yeah, they should give it a Vettel. They should do. But if Ferrari want to end Mercedes dominance, then much as I don't like saying this, next year they've got to get Hamilton, because Hamilton wouldn't put up with any nonsense off Ferrari mechanics. He would want the best car. He'd insist on the best car.
Well, of course, but that comes with the #1 driver. That's how it works. The #1 driver always gets the developed parts.
I think Hamilton would insist on more than Leclerc will.
Well, it's not really. I kind of see your point, but there is no. Hamilton would not walk into any team as a #2 driver.
No, I don't mean as #2 driver. I mean, let me start again. Like, if Hamilton was at Ferrari, the car would be better, because he would insist on it.
Yes. Okay.
He would nag them and moan and threaten to walk out and do this, that, and the other until that car was right.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the moment, Vettel's not doing that. He's just happy to nearly cause a crash every race.
Yeah.
And then have known about it.
Yeah, absolutely. But I ultimately think that you bring Hamilton into Ferrari, you upset the apple cart, and I think that's papering over the cracks. I had a really good analogy of Ferrari, and Ferrari are the motorsport Manchester United.
Go on.
You cannot argue with their past victories, their pedigree in the sport, even their status in the sport. Manchester United aren't where they used to be, but they are still one of the richest clubs in the world. They are still a massive draw. Okay, they've got a massive pull. Same for Ferrari. But Ferrari, like Manchester United, I know straight on me. Ferrari, like Manchester United, have never replaced certain key figures. Manchester United never replaced Alex Ferguson.
Yeah.
Ferrari have never replaced Jean Todt or Ross Brawn.
Yeah.
And you've seen the teams that they move into develop. Ross Brawn was in Ferrari initially. Ross Brawn moved out of me and went into Brawn with Jenson Button, and they won. They never replaced Ross Brawn. They never replaced Jean Todt. They are struggling now. I'm not saying they're like the Glazers or whatever, and I'm not a Manchester United fan, so I don't follow the ins and outs. But you look at those two, you look at Manchester United, you look at Ferrari, you go, you are not where you used to be. Things need to change. Bringing in Hamilton will not change. Bringing in the best players for Manchester United will not change. They need to replace key figures and replace them with quality.
Yeah, I agree. But tell you, what's his name? The boss. What's his surname? I've forgotten.
It's changed again, hasn't it? Because it used to be Charlie, whatever his name is, and he's now the CEO of Lamborghini.
Oh,
Go figure.
It's the bloke with the glasses and the mad hair.
No, it's not him either. The silver-haired fox with the quiff has gone.
Oh, anyway, well, whoever's in charge hasn't got that fear factor.
No.
That's why they're not where they should be.
No.
Any other teams you think worth looking out for? Well, we haven't just talked about Red Bull.
No.
I think they'd be thereabouts again, because
they will.
otherwise Max would have gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he stayed.
Top 4 now, go.
Mercedes first, Red Bull second. I suppose Ferrari third, but I'm not convinced by saying that really.
No, and can we agree in Mercedes 4th?
Mercedes fourth.
Sorry, not Mercedes, McLaren 4th. McLaren 4th, and then obviously the best of the rest. Renault, whatever Force India is now.
Racing Point. Aston Martin next year. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
That will be interesting. I think for some reason I've got this feeling of Renault going to be a bit better this year.
No.
Don't know why. I hope they are. Williams will be bottom again.
And that pains my heart. Pains my heart. From where Williams again used to be, not saying they were on the level of Ferrari, but they were used to winning, you know, and they were used to winning drivers and constructors championships and everything else, but I just can't see them.
Just interesting, I heard on Twitter before, Alfa Romeo started testing today, and the first driver to drive the car is Robert Kubica. Why he doesn't drive it then?
Who does he drive for?
It was Williams last year, wasn't it?
Weird.
I know, weird. I don't know what's going on there anyway.
Maybe he's lost his seat and he's become a development driver.
Did you have a national driver, have you?
Not that I'm aware of, mate, no.
I thought he was leaving this year as well. But you have a national driver anyway.
So, have we got anything else to say?
No, maybe we haven't.
I thought that podcast was going to be like 5 minutes, 10 minutes long, but we are nearly home.
Nearly your home, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just on 30 minutes.
Awesome.
Yeah,
very good.
That's all for this week. Thanks for watching or listening on our podcast. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Tumblr. I've got the Tumblr up to date.
Wow, have you?
I have.
No, wait, and we're also on Drive.
At 4beamcars.
Yep.
Email us at 4beamcars
Yep.
at gmail.com. If you want to subscribe to this podcast on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube,
Yep.
then click here.
Just here.
Just here. Or down there. That's been there all the time, but this is here now. And that's it. Thanks for watching.
And I would stress and a real plea, do like and subscribe and
Yes,
take
please. And
notifications
tell all your
on.
friends about
Yeah.
it. And yes.
Comment, thumbs up, thumbs down, either way. Just
Right.
yeah.
20 seconds, mate. That's all we've got. Okay. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.